Hi, today I want to talk about the spotlight effect. Let me get this off my face. The spotlight effect is an interesting um, topic that I heard somebody bring up, which is you walk around feeling like you've got the spotlight on you, like you are on a stage and everybody's watching and all that's dark around you, but the lights are just on you. And I'm just not that important. I mean, I feel like that when I walk around. Um, I think I can almost hear the whispering. Um, but that's when I don't have a quiet and peaceful mind. So I am Stephen. This is Living in Recovery Today. I am an alcoholic, an addict. I've been sober for quite a few years, and I live a different life today. So let's talk about that. Um, the spotlight effect is where I feel like I'm walking around and I am the center of attention. Everybody's looking at me. When I'm driving and the person right next to me like looks at, through the window and looks at me, I am thinking that now I'm on that person's radar. When I'm in traffic and I do something where somebody thinks I intentionally cut them off and they cut me off and they slow down and they do all the road rage tactics. Hopefully, you don't participate in them, um, but some people participate in that, what feels like at me. And I have literally gone through half of my day thinking I am still on that person's mind. And for all I know, that person had an emergency and they were all over the place in their head and they were racing to get somewhere. Um, I always have it in my head, these two possible scenarios. One being somebody is dying and, a priest is racing to get to their side to read them their last rites, or someone has their pregnant wife in the car and her water broke and he's racing, or somebody's hurt, whatever it is. I don't think they should get there unsafely. I think they should get there safely, but I understand because I'm not above that. I would likely do the same thing. So when I'm walking around thinking that I'm still in that person's mind, that's the spotlight effect. And that's also where when I have the spotlight effect working on me, that's the opposite of humility. I want to walk through my day in a way that, sure, it's nice when friends think about you. It's even nicer when they call or they text you. Um, but sometimes you may not be on their mind the whole day, even though you think about them and you are an important person in their life. It doesn't mean you consume their thoughts. I don't own their brain just because of that. And quite honestly, I have a lot of people I love and I think about a lot of people during the day, but there may be somebody who I don't think about. That doesn't mean I don't love them any less. I my hope is that these individuals don't see that they're unimportant, um, or that they don't walk around feeling that they're too important and they are on my thoughts, in my thoughts constantly. The spotlight effect is also a deep insecurity, and that's the thing I can identify with, because when I was still actively, drinking and drugging and doing a lot of other things, I believed I was so big that I was on everybody's mind. And either you thought I was risky and funny doing all these crazy acts that normal people shouldn't be doing, or you were thinking, that poor guy, man, he's an idiot. I wonder if he knows how stupid he is. And it's like I would hear that going on. Um, there's a fellowship I'm part of, and in some of these meetings for this fellowship, you go through this material that you read, and paragraph by paragraph, and a person each takes a paragraph and reads, and It used to be when it would come to me, I was so shaken that I would pre-read my paragraph and make sure there were no big words or something that I would stumble over, and I would be rehearsing, and I would people count and be like 1, 2, 3, me. And then of course the worst thing in the world would happen, that the person next to me would just get so, you know, just happy with how they read and then read one more paragraph. They would read my paragraph. And then I was left to reading the paragraph that was supposed to be for the person next to me, that wound up being my paragraph. And I would read and I would stumble on a word or a sentence. There have been times I completely reversed a word and its meaning, and it was funny and people laughed. But when I hear that laughter, I think two things. One, they think I'm being a clown and doing things on purpose when I'm not. But the other, more prevailing thing, I think I put it, I go into their head and I look back at myself through their eyes, and I believe they're looking at me, shaking their head. Poor Steven. How does he go through life being that stupid? God. And in my mind, they're thinking about how stupid I am the whole day because I can't read. When the next person might be reading, and after that point, they're not thinking about me the rest of the day. Um, the spotlight effect can be a really troubling thing because, it could be used for good, it could be used for bad, but it's never used for anything useful for me, because I'm not living with the spotlight on me and my actions right now. That should be the only spotlight I have, is over my head, for me, about me right now, lit up in the moment I'm in, and how am I acting in my own play, the one I'm writing right now, today. And when I'm more concerned about what's happening right now, then I can be a better part of what's going on around me in life today. And I can, right now, today is when I can be there for another person. I hope that in an hour from now, a week from now, sure, I hope that I will be there for somebody. And the only thing I have about yesterday is I'm really glad I called that person. I'm really glad I called them and told them I love them. But right now is where the big show is. Right now is where the action is. Right this moment, this second, right now. Right, it's now, actually, because you can never catch now. It moves too fast. Right now is where the spotlight is in my life, and where I try and keep the spotlight. So again, as always, I hope this helps somebody keep the spotlight right here over their own head right now, for a more peaceful life. So take care.